Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Chrissy.
All right, Wyatt.
Here.
Reister and Engel are both absent, and Bunce.
Present.
And Stabile.
Here. And both Reister and Engel are excused. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
For 3-0. Consent agenda, anything anybody wants me to remove? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3-0. Welcome to everybody in attendance. Goal setting quarterly update. You've got in there, Chrissy went through to help. There's pages 17 to 20 in your packet. Go some of the major accomplishments as well as what we've been going on. I guess the big things are major accomplishments in the prior year was the balanced budget. We're still rolling with the balanced budget. Increased population, tax base. It's happening in 2018, 19, and beyond with the developments we have going on. Page 18 that was in red, we did finish the aeration project in October. We completed the wage rates where we moved the union wage rates 10%. Maintaining certifications, we're still consistently getting the certifications completed by our staff. Employee performance reviews, we completed that for the second year in a row. Finance and budget, financial outlays for the northern tier were some of the items, and we're working with Twin Oaks on that part. Impact of the state property tax, we could lose $50,000 over the 5 years, but at this point it's not been certain that it's not coming, and we did not include that in budget, so if it does come through, that's a plus for us. Working on grants, still working on that. Chrissy continues to put in grant requests for her education, has been successful in those. She's got another big one in that we hope to get approval on. Economic development, commercial, got some of that going with the dirt works and plumbing dynamics that'll be going in the northern tier. Housing, both Echo Development, the Twin Oaks, as well as the Prairie Ridge that's should be rolling here soon. Page 19, one of the new priority programs was develop a multi-year street maintenance and repair plan. Dan's working on that to get something put together for consideration. Page 20, organizational effectiveness, nothing new on that. We've been rolling along. Page 21, new initiatives or programs. Obtain land on the east side of 63 for a future park with a 5-year plan for a splash pad. Thanks to Kate, that's still rolling along optimistically to get going. And as we started last council meeting, we're going to process eminent domain to attempt to get Sargent Park, which will give us a park area over there. And then the performance reviews have been continuing to do annually, so making progress on that. Questions on any of that? Bunch of stuff. Also under my items was, no, got that covered. Citizens request oral presentations. You had a note that Robert Wunkus may appear to the council to request clarification on the notice to abate nuisance that we sent to him a week ago. I met with Robert and his wife Dee this morning for about a half hour. He is making progress on it, and what I have done and will continue to do, as long as he makes progress, I'll continue to move out the date, the deadline for him. Had been July 12th to clean up the property. That's now to July 19th. I told him to focus on the front yard, which is abutting Washington Street, and then start work on the back. I also, with a letter I gave you a copy of, offered him again that if he needs a dumpster out there to start throwing away stuff, we would help with him out of our garbage fund, as well as if there was stuff he needed physical assistance, because he and his wife are both 89 years old. If we needed assistance to fill up that dumpster, if that dumpster comes, we will work towards helping him on that. So reasonable discussion with him. His wife was very supportive of the efforts that we're going through.
Appreciate you doing that and following up with him, because as long as we stay on top of it, that not a long, I don't want to give him a 6-month, here you go, but
no, this is a week at a
the
time.
week to week is great. We appreciate all the work you're doing with him. So
Committee reports, recommendations, Public Works. Scott, you got some commitments?
Yes, I do. I met on June 13th at 7. Jill Still gave us some updates on the summer ball diamond projects, and we approved the purchase of supplies to allow the Boy Scouts to build a Gaga ball pit as another.
I had to look up to see what that was too, so.
I did not know what it was either,
What
but
is it?
it's a small little box that you
Kinda
play like dodgeball in. I think.
Dodgeball
Oh, okay.
thing.
The way I understood it, yep. Also update us on some volleyball court repairs at the sand volleyball location. We discussed and approved the new garbage rate of $13.25, which will come before council tonight. Discussed a bridge that needs repair, looking at getting a cost estimate on that. Approved 2 sewer adjustments. Discussed generator for shop and city hall, looking into some other options. And then the nuisance abatement notice, which was discussed by George earlier. So that's what I got.
Thanks, Scott. Any questions for Scott?
Just a question.
Yeah.
How many bids came in for garbage this year?
Oh, this was simply implementation.
Oh, this was that potential up the
Yep.
lift for this year.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, public hearing. I'll open the public hearing on the proposed amendment to the Hudson North Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area. Chrissy, any written comments?
No.
Any oral comments? Close the public hearing. Item 2, public hearing on the proposed development agreement with Plumbing Dynamics LLC. Chrissy, any written comments?
No.
Any oral? Close that public hearing. Public hearing on the proposed development agreement with Dirtworks Construction LLC. Chrissy, any written?
No.
Any oral? Close that public hearing. General government. Hudson City Council maintains the right to waive the first and second readings of the ordinances presented and may pass the third and final reading of the same ordinance within the same council meeting. Item A, discussion action to approve the third reading of ordinance 798, an ordinance amending section 16602 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Hudson, Iowa as amended by removing certain real estate from the R1 single family residential district and including the same in the R2 low density. And this is the western portion of the Clawson Prairie Ridge addition, which is just east of St. Tim's and Black Hawk Mutual.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt,
Aye.
Stabell,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
3-0. Item B, discussion action to approve of the second reading of ordinance 800 and ordinance amending section 166.02 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Hudson, Iowa as amended by removing certain real estate from the A1 suburban agricultural district and including the same in the R6 single family. This is buyers. Chrissy, have we had any written or oral comments since the first reading?
No.
So I'd be willing to accept either approval of the second reading or a motion to waive the second reading.
I'll approve the second reading.
Okay, that was second to
I'll
approve the
second
second.
that.
Discussion, roll call.
All right, Stabell,
Aye.
Buns.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
3-0 on passing the second reading. Item C, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 801 and ordinance amending section 166.02 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Hudson, Iowa as amended by removing certain real estate from the R5 large lot residential district to R6 single family residential district and R5 large lot residential to A1 suburban agricultural district. And this is the Henry Cox Gordon property north side of Ranchero. And again, I would, Chrissy, any written or oral comments on that since the last meeting?
No.
Okay, so again, I would accept either approval of the second reading or waiver of the second reading.
I approve for the second reading.
Second,
I'll second that.
discussion? Roll call.
Buns.
Aye.
Wyatt.
Aye.
Stabell.
Aye.
3-0 on the second reading. Item D, discussion action to approve the second reading of ordinance 802 and ordinance amending the code of ordinances of the city of Hudson, Iowa by amending chapter 6915, no parking on one side. And this is Springfield and Partridge. Chrissy, any written or oral since the last meeting?
No.
So again, I accept either approval of the second reading or waiver of the second reading.
I move to approve the second reading.
Okay, second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
All right, Bunce?
Aye.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
Okay, 3-0 on approval of the second reading. Item E, discussion action to approve resolution 2400, a resolution to approve urban renewal plan amendment for the Hudson North Tier Commercial Urban Renewal Area. Have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion?
Could you just do a very quick recap?
Yeah, what it is simply, with the two development agreements we've come up for future consideration, next on the agenda, it's to change the urban renewal area. It's on the north side of Riders Road.
Thank you.
Did I have a motion and a second?
Yes.
Roll call.
Stabell?
Aye.
Bunce?
Aye.
Wyatt?
Aye.
3-0. Item F, discussion action to approve resolution 2401, a resolution approving development agreement with Plumbing Dynamics LLC, authorizing annual appropriation tax increment payments and pledging certain tax increment revenues to payment of the agreement. And this is the one of the lots up in the Deutsch Edition. And what the development agreement is a 70% 10-year, same as we've been doing recently on development agreements. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
Bunce?
Aye.
3-0. Item G, discussion action to approve resolution 2402, a resolution approving development agreement with Dirtworks Construction LLC, authorizing annual appropriation tax increment payments and pledging certain tax increment revenues to the payment of the agreement. Same situation as the other lot that's being sold up there, 70% 10-year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Bunce?
Wyatt made the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wyatt?
Aye.
Bunce?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
3-0. Thanks, Brent.
Yep.
Item H, discussion action to approve resolution 2403, a resolution for approval of payment request number 6, final, regarding the Hudson US 63 bike trail extension. In the amount of 26,000 odd cents.
So
And
moved.
26,954.74, and that is after taking credit for $44,000 of delayed
Right.
completion.
We got credit back for that,
Yes, we did.
44,000. Yes, so moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Done.
Roll call.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Bunce?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
3-0.
It's ours.
Yes, it is.
Well, we haven't closed the project out yet, but
Oh,
we're.
closer to being ours.
Yeah.
Then we can cut in that other spot.
Yeah.
Item I, discussion action to approve resolution 2404, a resolution approving the transfer of funds as enumerated by Chrissy.
So moved.
Second.
Any
This is just
discussion?
closing out accounts,
This is
correct?
just
Yeah.
cleaning
zeroing.
stuff
Yeah.
up, is that what we're doing
Yep.
here?
Is that for the end of fiscal?
Yep. Roll call.
Bunce?
Aye.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
3-0. Discussion action to approve resolution 2405, a resolution setting public hearing regarding raising the solid waste collection rates through the ordinance revision. And this would be a public hearing for July 9th, correct?
Yep.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Roll call.
Wyatt?
Aye.
Stabell?
Aye.
Bunce?
Aye.
3-0. Information items in your packet, just a couple of them. Reminder items, regularly scheduled meetings are held at the council chambers except the electric board and the library board. Public Safety Committee meeting June 28th at
Been
4 p.m.
It's canceled.
That's canceled?
Yeah.
No Public Works on June 28th.
No, the
No.
public safety.
Public.
Oh, Public Safety, pardon me, last time.
Okay.
Public Works Committee?
Yeah, you don't get that lucky, Scott.
I don't think you'll get past.
No.
So that's July 11th at 7 a.m.
Ugh.
Mayor's Task Force meeting, July 17th, unless we have nothing come up on the agenda at this point, we'll see if it's scheduled. Personnel Admin Finance Committee meeting, July 23rd, or did we cancel that one?
No.
No.
Is that one still on?
Yeah.
For 4:45 p.m. Next council meetings, Monday, July 9th at 6 p.m. and Monday, July 23rd at 6 p.m.
Mr. Mayor, I got asked if there was any 4th of July, oh, that's this year. nothing,
No,
no
we never
fireworks.
do.
No, but I
Yeah.
gotta ask.
Hudson
Oh.
Days is the third week in July, we don't do 4th of July here.
Thank you.
Rhinebeck's got some cool stuff going on. Independence does too, I think.
Rhinebeck's always got really cool.
Yeah.
stuff.
That's good stuff.
Mhm.
Motion adjourned,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Thank you all. Thanks, Jim.
Sweet candy, unless it rains before you get there.
Yeah, I know.